Miller here. Check out Calderon Boxing. Knockouts and big baby. Let's get it.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy, Calderon, Stand Clear Entertainment, and we're about to get into this week's boxing talk. November the 23rd in Las Vegas, Nevada. Fox pay-per-view. PBC is going to bring you the much-anticipated rematch of WBC heavyweight champion Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder versus Luis the Real King Kong Ortiz. This is a great matchup, a serious rematch that boxing fans are going to tune into this pay-per-view because it is a very good sequel to the first fight that was an excellent fight that took place back in 2018. Now, this is a fight where I've been telling everybody that it's a dangerous fight and a very big risk for Deontay Wilder because Wilder did not have to fight this man again. This is the third opportunity that he has given to Luis Ortiz when he did not have to. If people would recall, back in November of 2017, they were supposed to originally meet on that date, but Luis Ortiz failed a drug test and the fight was scrapped. Then 6 months later, he gave him another opportunity to fight for the heavyweight title and for a big payday on March of 2018. That fight took place in Brooklyn, New York, and yours truly was on hand to witness that fight, and it was one of the best fights in the heavyweight division, and we saw that Deontay Wilder was getting outboxed in the first 4 rounds because he could not deal with the southpaw rhythm of Luis Ortiz, Cuban school boxing technician, where he was able to land the jab very cleanly and effectively, move very well in the ring, and land that left hand punch on Deontay Wilder. Wilder was falling behind on the scorecards, but in the 5th round of that fight, he was able to catch Luis Ortiz with a very good shot and hurt Luis Ortiz to drop him down to the canvas. Now, Luis Ortiz was able to shake it off. In the 6th round, these guys went back and forth, toe-to-toe action, but it was the 7th round where Luis Ortiz came very close to pulling off an upset and becoming the heavyweight champion of the world because Luis Ortiz let off 27 power shots on Deontay Wilder in that round where they were unanswered because Deontay Wilder, all he did was hold on to dear life, and he was backed up against the ropes and was getting pummeled from one corner to the next corner. This man was in bad shape. The referee was very close to stopping this fight, and he almost got knocked out. But the chin of Deontay Wilder, you got to give him credit. This man has a great chin, and he was able to survive that round. Other referees probably would have stopped that fight, but the referee let it continue. He gave the benefit of the doubt to the champion. The champion was able to get back into the fight. It was still Luis Ortiz's fight to win, but it was in the 10th round where Deontay Wilder had a gassed out and exhausted fighter in front of him in Luis Ortiz, and he was able to hurt Luis Ortiz with some big shots in that 10th round that put Luis Ortiz down to the canvas for the 2nd time of this fight. And this man was in very big trouble because he had nothing left in the tank. He was in bad shape, and Deontay Wilder smelled blood. He is one of the best finishers in boxing today, and he knocked out his man with a beautiful uppercut. Luis Ortiz lost that fight on the count of him not being in the best preparation and not being able to withstand the punching power of Deontay Wilder. Now, Deontay Wilder gives this man a 3rd opportunity to fight for the heavyweight title and to make $7 million for this fight right here. The same $7 million that was offered to him by Anthony Joshua to fight him back in June of this year of 2019 in Madison Square Garden. But Luis Ortiz was influenced by Al Heyman to not take that fight and instead was promised the rematch against Deontay Wilder, a man that he feels that he can beat and in big stage in a pay-per-view fight. So, this fight right here, it's a very good fight, a very intriguing fight. Some people say that, Luis Ortiz is over the hill. He's more 50 years old than he is 40 years old. And I don't believe that. I believe that Luis Ortiz has a new team around him. They hired a strength and conditioning coach. They're doing a lot of preparation for this fight. They've had a long training camp. They moved it from Miami to Las Vegas, where the fight is going to be taking place. And they've been in Las Vegas for weeks, perhaps months, training for this fight and getting ready for the fight of his life. And he looks in great condition, in great shape. And that was the main concern in the first fight, was the stamina issue. He was winning the fight. He was outboxing, Deontay Wilder because he has better fundamentals. This man was an outstanding Cuban amateur. The pedigree is there. He's a southpaw that gives any orthodox fighter trouble in the ring. He has a great jab. He moves very well with his boxing ability, his footwork, and he puts his combinations together extremely well, and he's a hard-hitting puncher, a dangerous puncher in there. So if you got a much better, superior condition Luis Ortiz, you're going to get a better performance, I believe, in this fight than you had in the first fight. So what Deontay Wilder is going to do, the only chance in this fight is to knock Luis Ortiz out. He's relying on what he's relied on throughout his career of 40-plus fights, is the outstanding punching power that this man possesses, because he is the hardest puncher by far of this generation. He is the Ernie Shavers, the George Foreman, the Sonny Liston, and the Mike Tyson of his era of today, because this man has incredible punching power to go up there in the history books as one of the hardest knockout punchers in the heavyweight division. And that's what he's going to be leaning on this fight right here, that he could get to Luis Ortiz. No matter how many rounds he falls behind on this fight, till you get to the 12th and final round, he is going to stalk you and try to land the big punch to knock you out. And he has power in both hands to do so. So it's going to be a edge on your seat type of fight, very intense type of fight, because boxing fans are going to see the superb boxing skills of Luis Ortiz and the punching power that Luis Ortiz can hurt Deontay Wilder. But we're going to see who's in better condition, who has that grit, and who's going to land the big shots to win this fight when it's all said and done. Does it go to the scorecards? It possibly could. But can Luis Ortiz make it to the final bell in the 12th round without getting knocked out? That is the big question mark that is hanging over his head in this fight right here. Like I said, I got to give a lot of respect and props to Deontay Wilder for giving this man a third opportunity. Now, he did not have to. He won it fair and square the first time around. There was no really controversy, with the 7th round of him getting hurt and almost knocked out. This is something that he wants to prove to himself, that he's a real fighter, that he's willing to accept all challenges. Because to me, I'm a big Luis Ortiz fan, but this man hasn't done anything since that loss to Deontay Wilder to earn a shot at the heavyweight title, to earn a rematch against Deontay Wilder. And that's just the truth right there, because the guys that he has faced are nobodies. He has easy fights against lesser opponents where he was able to knock these guys out and look superb against these guys. But he hasn't had a real challenge since the Deontay Wilder fight. And everyone could say everything they want about Deontay Wilder's resume, that he hasn't fought anyone until he fought Luis Ortiz. We know that Berman Stavern was the champion where Deontay Wilder showed his best boxing ability in that fight right there, and he won a boxing match by decision. And then in the rematch, he annihilated Stavern in 1 round. Up to that time, that was the only fighter on his resume that was worthy of being talked about. Now he had faced Luis Ortiz. He faced adversity in that fight, and he knocked his man out. There was no controversy in that right there. He showed what a true champion truly is. And now he's giving him another opportunity to face him in a rematch. And on top of that, he's already signed for another rematch against Tyson Fury, who also outboxed him for at least 10 rounds in that fight, because the only 2 rounds that I gave Deontay Wilder in that fight against Tyson Fury was the 2 rounds where he scored knockdowns in. Because I was rooting for Deontay Wilder to clearly knock out Tyson Fury in that first fight. But I saw a spectacular boxing lesson by Tyson Fury that I wasn't expecting. I expected Tyson Fury to get knocked out by Deontay Wilder early in the fight. But he showed me something that I've never seen before in Tyson Fury. And he made me a believer that night that he could beat Deontay Wilder. Now, the knockdown, everyone questions the long count by the referee. The referee gave Tyson Fury the benefit of the doubt, the same way they gave the champion, Deontay Wilder, the benefit of the doubt against Luis Ortiz in that 7th round. So, it is what it is. it winded up being a draw. They have unsettled business to take care of, but Deontay Wilder signed up for 2 rematches this year when he did not have to. He could have went on about his business and continued to fight. I believe that it's a big mistake for Deontay Wilder to give this man a 3rd opportunity because it could backfire on him. I believe that Luis Ortiz has a strong chance to win this fight. I believe that he made a bad business decision not going after Anthony Joshua because he could have been in the same position that Andy Ruiz was in, that he was able to upset Anthony Joshua in Madison Square Garden in this summer of 2019. And now he's going to get an even bigger payday, against Anthony Joshua. And he has a chance to win that fight also again. I believe that Luis Ortiz could have had that same opportunity and perhaps could have won that fight in the same fashion. He would have put himself in prime position for a rematch with Joshua to make more money, on top of the $7 million that he was offered now with Deontay Wilder and what he was offered back then with Anthony Joshua, because it's the same amount of money. Plus, he would have made that extra big payday in the rematch and also have a chance to knock out Joshua a second time and go into a bigger fight in 2020 with all the title belts on the line for a rematch with Deontay Wilder. It would have been a much better storyline for Luis Ortiz, but he made the decision to take this $7 million payday plus whatever the pay-per-view does that he gets a little bit extra on top. And he has a chance to win this title, and he could possibly have the same scenario in 2020 where he could face the winner of Joshua or Andy Ruiz for the undisputed crown. But like I said, it would have been a much more better storyline if he would have went the other route and been in position to win the title from Joshua and then have the rematch against Joshua and then Deontay Wilder in 2020. But we are here now, and we can't wait to see how this is all going to play out, because at the end of the day, we could possibly see Luis Ortiz versus Andy Ruiz in 2020 for the undisputed heavyweight crown. Cuba versus Mexico, and that will be a phenomenal fight right there. But I'm banking on Luis Ortiz to pull off the upset against Deontay Wilder in this fight, and I can't wait. So tune in to Fox pay-per-view. It's going to be $75 charge, I believe. And it's going to be one hell of a night on November 23rd in Las Vegas, Nevada. And I'll be watching this fight very closely to see if Deontay Wilder proves that he is the man of the division and scores the knockout victory once again and heads for a showdown against Tyson Fury in February of 2020. So we just have to wait and see how this all plays out. But I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in to this YouTube channel right here, J. Calderon Boxing Talk. Please hit that little red subscribe button, hit that bell icon, hit that share button, that like button, drop a comment, so you get all my notifications once I drop a new video. Also, follow me on all social media platforms, on Instagram, on Twitter, and join the Facebook boxing group page, all under the same name, J. Calderon Boxing Talk. I'm J. Calderon, Stand Clear Entertainment. Thanks for your support. Keep watching, and please subscribe.